Okay, we're going to look at equations that have fractions involved. Fractions are, as you learned last year, rational numbers. Notice they have the word ratio in there. So these are things that can be written as ratios. Coefficients are numbers that go in front of variables, like 5 is the coefficient of x here, okay? So we're either going to have a fraction involved in the problem, or we're going to get a fraction as an answer. We've been really happy because all of our answers have been integers, positive, negative, whole numbers, no decimals, no fractions. But life isn't like that. So we're going to look at these type of problems. Now here's what I want you to do. When I say to stop the video and go to your worksheet and work a couple of problems, do that, because I'm going to tell you the problems that are done just like what I just did, and you go to the video, try them out, and then come back to the video, okay? All right, so this first one, what do we notice here? Same like any other equation. We look for distributive property, and I see distributive property, right? I've got 1/5 times 5x plus 20. So we're going to take this and we're going to do 1/5 times 5 and 1/5 times 20, okay? So what is 1/5 times 5? We put the 5 over 1, those cancel, and I'm left with 1x, right? Then 1/5 times 20. I put the 20 over 1, 5 goes into 24 times, and I get 1x plus 4 equals -5. Now it's just a normal equation. I'm trying to isolate the variable, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I get 1x, which is just x, equals -5 minus 4. Put that in your calculator. -5 minus 4 is -9. Okay, so this was really nice. This looked kind of ugly, but when we multiplied everything by that fraction, the fraction canceled, the denominator canceled, and we ended up with no fractions, okay? I want you right now to stop the video, and I want you to go work numbers 1 and 2 on your worksheet. All right, you're back. Now, I have 7 minus 8x equals 11. I go, this doesn't look bad. This is an equation we've been working for weeks now. Good. Let's see how it's different. So I look at this. I'm trying to isolate the variable, so I have to take care of this 7 first. What kind of 7 is this? Is there anything in front of it? No, so it's a positive 7. What's my inverse operation to plus 7? I'm going to subtract 7, and whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I have to bring down the -8x, don't forget that minus sign, equals 11 minus 7 is 4. Now, this is -8 times x. When it's written side by side with nothing in between, that's multiplication. The inverse operation to multiplication is division. So -8 over -8 becomes 1, so I get 1x, and I get this -4/8. That's a fraction. I can simplify that fraction. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 two times, and my answer is x equals -1/2. Okay? Stop the video and go work number 3. We have done problems like this before, so this is going to be review. This is a 2-step equation. We're going to save the variable to the very end. We're going to get rid of the plus 9. The inverse operation to addition is subtraction. We're going to subtract 9 from both sides. I'm going to bring down 1/3 x. 9 minus 9 is 0. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. 15 minus 9 is 6. Now, what do we do here? We are multiplying by a fraction, so we divide both sides by 1/3, okay? 1/3 over 1/3 becomes 1. This is 6 divided by 1/3, right? So how do we divide by a fraction? We multiply by the reciprocal, and we get 6 times 3 is 18. We have seen problems like this before. Divide by the fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. So now, stop the video again and go work numbers 4, 6, and 9. Next type of problem. 4 minus x over 3 equals negative 11. We have also done this type of problem before. This is just looking at it again, making sure we remember. We save the variable to the very end. We have to get rid of the 4. It's a positive 4, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Okay, 4 minus 4 is 0. I bring down negative x over 3, and then negative 11 minus 4, use your calculator if you need to, you should get negative 15. Now, what operation is this? This fraction bar is division. The inverse operation to division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by negative 3 and this side by negative 3. These cancel, and I'm left with x equals a negative times a negative is a positive, and 15 times 3 is 45. All right, stop the video and go work numbers 5 and 10. Welcome back. This doesn't look bad at all, does it? Okay. Do I have any distributive property? No. Do I have any like terms? Yes. 8x minus 2x. What's 8 minus 2? 8 minus 2 is 6, so I get 6x plus 5 equals 7. Still looks pretty normal. I'm going to save that variable to the very end. This is plus 5, so I'm going to subtract 5. So I get 6x equals 2. Here's where it's going to look a little weird. This is 6 times x, so we're going to divide both sides by 6. 2 6 is not a whole number. 2 6 is a fraction. We're going to simplify it. 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 6 3 times, and we get a final answer of 1/3. Okay? After you get all that copied, stop the video and go work numbers 7 and 8. Okay, we have seen a problem like this or two. Some of you the other day did a problem very similar to this, I think on that basketball game. We have 4x plus 2 all over 3. Okay, so since this is divided by 3, I need to get rid of this 3 first, and the inverse operation to division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3 and this side by 3. These 3 cancel, and I'm left with that numerator, 4x plus 2. Then 18 times 3 is, use your calculator if you need to, 54. Okay, now it's just a two-step equation. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides. 4x equals 52. That's 4 times x. So we're going to divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals, I think, 13. Okay? Stop the video and go work numbers 11, 13, and 15. Okay, this is probably the scariest looking problem we've seen so far, but it's really not bad. Okay, I've got 5/3 x minus 4/3 x minus 1 equals 8. Do I have any distributive property? No. Do I have any like terms? I do. 5/3 x minus 4/3 x. Okay, now how do you subtract 5/3 minus 4/3? They have the same denominator, so it's just 5 minus 4, which is 1/3. So this becomes 1/3 x minus 1 equals 8. Now it's just like the problem we did a few minutes ago, right? We're going to save this 1/3 x to the very end. We're going to add 1 to both sides. We get 1/3 x equals 9. We're going to divide both sides by 1/3. And the way we divide by 1/3 is we multiply by 3/1. These cancel, and I'm left with x equals 27. So it really wasn't that bad after all, right? Okay, last time, stop the video and go work numbers 12 and 14.